Maybe. Hi, this is Joe Henry. I'm going to be performing a song in the Hot House, so come check it out. I think it feels really kind of lush and orchestral in a way, but it's also really fragmented, and that's the best way I can describe what I wanted the record to be. You know, and I want it to be like, on the one hand, kind of like a Spinners record. On the other hand, kind of like Leadbelly. I'm not a folk singer. I'm not interested in being a folk singer. I think that's, I mean, just for me, I have nothing against it, but it just doesn't communicate musically what I'd like to communicate. John Cage used to talk about, you can only write great music when you take your vanity and your image of yourself completely out of it. As a writer and a singer, not thinking about how this, how does this represent me as a singer, for instance? Because there's sometimes I've been producing another artist on a rare occasion, and they'll sing something completely beautifully out of tune, and then you're kind of fighting with them to kind of just leave it because it might be out of tune, and maybe, but it really is musically effective, and it's hard to kind of live by those rules for yourself because you don't want people just to think you're a lousy singer, but sometimes it's really effective, and I try to take myself out of it enough that I try not to worry about how it reflects on me, as a guy walking around. Well, there's a guy, that guy, he can't sing, Curt Flood, as you may or may not know, was not only a great baseball player in the 60s, but an incredibly significant American at the time, given what was happening racially in this country. Not that it's not still happening, but it was in all the newspapers then anyway. But he kind of changed the way that, at least in baseball and in sports in general, he basically is the guy who stood up and went all the way to the Supreme Court and sacked his career by saying, I'm a man, I'm not a piece of property. You can't buy and sell me. He's saying this to the owners of the teams. You can't treat, men like cattle, and really amazing, articulate, courageous man. And I thought it was a great title for a song. I heard Bob Dylan when I was 11 years old and absolutely turned my head around. I don't know why it did at that time, but I could remember where I was when I heard it. It meant something to me, and I didn't understand why. It just did. And I remember the first time that I got written up in a Toronto paper, the headline literally was, Madonna's brother-in-law makes record. And that was kind of how it was for a little while. Because I'm a musician, it means I don't do anything all day. I had to find something to, something physical to do, believing it was going to help me sleep. So I started boxing. And I really like it because it's one of the things, I'm sure it's why some people ride motorcycles and some people take drugs. Because when I'm boxing, I'm not thinking about anything else except not dying.